Linda manages to shut and lock the door, but Norma is pounding and screaming at her to open the door. Poor Linda begins to pray over and over, and eventually the pounding and screaming stop. Linda is petrified and stays in her room all day and night, too scared to come out. During this time, the only thing Linda can think that could have caused this was the visit from her friend the day before, Maria's mom, Rosa. The next morning she quietly comes out of the room and sees her daughter sitting and waiting at the kitchen table for her, acting as if nothing was wrong, when Linda asks her daughter why she acted that way, and Norma begins to cry because she had no recollection of it happening. They cry and pray together, still unable to comprehend what happened. Well, after Linda relays the story back to Rosa about what happened after her visit, Rosa decides that moment to stop worshipping La Santa Muerte and throws out anything associated with it. I wish I could say Rosa became a Christian after that, but she didn't, and that's fine. Maria is just happy that her mom is done with that saint. Animals in the attic. My mom often talked about how she could hear squirrels in the attic. I never heard them, even after I knew to listen for them. She said as she was drifting off to sleep, she would be kept awake by what sounded like a small animal, most likely squirrels, as they were popular rodents in the area where we lived. So we had an exterminator come in and check for them, only to be informed that all he had found were bones and feces. Whatever animal that had been up there had been dead a long time. The only way to our attic was in the garage. I had never felt quite comfortable in the garage, but it was the first time we ever had one, and I dubbed it a normal occurrence. One day I went out to the garage to get some food from the freezer. It just happened to be situated directly underneath the ladder to the attic. That day, I felt even more uneasy than I usually did, so I grabbed an unopened bag of what I needed, slammed the freezer closed and left. I took my time to open the package and set my food on the counter because I really didn't want to go back in the garage that day. I thought about how much stuff had been disappearing from the garage as of late. I went back into the garage only to see the attic open, and the freezer opened all the way. The floor wasn't slanted enough for the door to have opened itself like that, and the attic had a panel you had to push up and sideways to get out. I shoved the newly opened bag on the top of the freezer and said, "Take the food, just don't hurt me or anything." I was around 12 at the time, so that was all I could think to do. I slowly closed the freezer and backed out of the garage. The attic was too high for me to close, so I left it alone. After that incident, nothing else happened from then, and even now after we've moved. My mom even stopped hearing the squirrels in the attic.